Now we can go. Okay.
Okay,
Now.
Hi. Singing.
Hi. Okay.
Condition really critical.
Okay. So this is Arthur. Say your name.
Yeah, and
Arthur.
don't forget to
And
Tatiana.
Tatiana. Okay.
don't forget to visit us really soon, very soon.
And Moldova.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta let people know where you live. Come on.
Come to Moldova. Come
Okay.
to visit us.
Okay.
Come to visit Tatiana.
Us,
Just-
us, all of us. We are very kind. We're very beautiful.
Okay. Oh, and just let you know, Tatiana is single, so you better hurry up and get here,
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
she's still single.
So I can give you
Uh,
an autograph.
Autograph, yeah.
Yeah, she can give you autograph, and she might even sing you a song because she's a singer.
And I can be your manager.
And Arthur's the manager here there,
And
so
we can show you around.
yeah,
And we can show you the best places to eat because our food is the best.
right, and it's cheap too.
And
So
it's healthy.
Everything
and
is cheap.
okay, okay. So here's the question for you two today.
Okay.
Okay.
I already asked y'all the question, kind of, sort of, but I'm gonna ask you the question.
Okay.
Love. What is love? What's your answer?
Love, I think, is the best feeling that somebody could feel, could have in their bottom of the heart or of their soul. They can love wherever or whoever. Like they could love somebody or they could love something that they do every day. Love is something that brings you joy and happiness. Love is something that makes your body to fly.
to have butterflies in
Yeah,
the
to have
stomach.
butterflies in the stomach.
Real butterflies? Wow, how did they get in there?
I don't know. It's love.
From all.
Okay, just capped in there. Okay.
Yeah, and love gives you energy and power to achieve whatever you want.
Okay, so you have love as being that. Okay, Arthur.
I'm agree with Tanya.
No,
See, look,
No.
look.
In one word, love is love. You know? No?
See, this is why guys always strike out in the wrong direction, and a woman looks at him like he's stupid because, okay, tell the truth, we all kind of stupid, but
No.
most of the time we have some brain cells running. It's just usually we're focused on the girl's face or some other thing instead of thinking. So excuse us, but okay. So that's the two answers, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
What if I said that love is neither one of those things?
Oh.
What if,
Could be.
well, what if I said the definition of love has nothing to do with your emotions at all? Because if you are well, let's put it this way, if it has nothing to do with how you feel in a positive way. What if I told you that love, let's say for a parent and a baby, and they haven't had sleep in 2 days, and the baby is actually crying, and the parent gets up and they rush to the baby's room and they pick the baby up and hold him and feed him and change him, and they would even stay, even when the baby is kind of still, going back to sleep, they still watch the baby and make sure the baby's okay. Now, you would think that, of course, right at that time, the parent wants some sleep, but they don't care about themselves at that point. They can only care about how they can love the baby and make sure the baby's okay. So what in that situation? That has nothing to do with butterflies or good feelings. That has more to do with something that has a selfishness that have nothing to do with themselves. So the simple way to play it is this. Tell you the best way to put it. Love is actually a sacrifice from one person and a free gift to someone else.
Yeah.
It could be too.
Right. That is the definition of love, because love isn't just, it's not an emotion at all. It's simply a commitment that a person makes, okay, that they themselves have to sacrifice, but they have to give it to someone else as a free gift. Because if it's not free, then it's not love. If you give somebody something and you expect something back, then that's called exchange, right? So love is supposed to be better than commerce, because you can hate someone and still exchange something with them. But if it's love and you give them something and you don't expect anything back, then you're giving them a free gift, but something that costs you something. So
That
what?
sounds very beautiful.
Right? But how do you put that kind of love into practice? How do you make that work? in life?
Um, if you're ready to give your life for the person that you are together, like it doesn't matter for your kid, for your
Mother, father.
mother, father, your lover, then it's love.
What about for a
I think-
stranger?
I'm sorry?
What about for a stranger? Anyone?
For a stranger? Yeah, sure.
If
you're
there
in a
are
critical
compatibility, yeah.
Not compatibility. I mean, what about for a
If there
person?
are compatibility and we like that person
Yeah,
and he
maybe.
likes us.
No, what about for an absolute stranger? You never met them.
In a critical situation and you have to save them because, yeah, just because it's, I don't know, yeah, there's a fire and somebody's inside and you just have to save them.
Right.
That is love.
So your motivation is to save some, to give your
Anyway,
time.
Yeah, but anyway, like it will be. I think I could say that. Yeah, you help that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still alive, but you don't do this because.
You will get a reward like
yeah, but-
money or
but
something.
you will get a reward. Like there is a philosophy that if you do good now, you will get it back in your next life or something. Like that, you know?
But see, here's the problem.
Yeah.
Remember, if you're doing something good and that's your motivation, and you think, oh, I can get this back, that's exchange.
Okay, so that's love.
So, like I said, so it comes down to then is the first part was correct. I mean, if the fire is burning and you say, oh, hey, I heard there's somebody still in there, and you run in there and you take them out of the building because you want to save that person's life. You don't want anyone to die. But if in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh, well, maybe if my building's on fire, somebody will save me, then what you're really thinking about is yourself when you're doing it.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
that's why I'm saying like it's not always like that.
Right. So love. What would you think motivates love? I mean, what would motivate a person to love?
Critical situation.
Not a critical one. I think everything except money, popularity, and
That would motivate a sacrifice
No,
for
only
free.
accept.
Oh, okay.
accept this.
Got it.
Accept this. Money, popularity, and accept this. Yes, because we need to be polite for
No.
every human.
Mhm.
If he's stranger or he's close to us,
Right. Duh.
I think so.
What about you, Tatiana?
I think that you can really love somebody this way just when you realize that love is more than just, as I said at the beginning, right?
Duh.
So you are ready to love just when you realize what is it and how is a real love.
Right.
Just then you can really love somebody.
Sometimes love comes across us without knowing that. This is a situation, not a feeling. We can explain this only. This can explain only the person that is in a bad situation. You know.
Well, but let me ask you this then. What's the difference between lust and love?
Lust?
And love.
Lust and love.
Lust and love?
What's the difference?
Lust is pain. And love is joy.
What were you thinking, Tatiana? What's the difference between lust and love?
Lust is just when you disappear. like this. When you are not here. When you I don't
Okay.
know how to explain
Well, did you know that the same difference between a boy and a man, the same difference between good and evil, the same difference between love and lust is actually the exact same thing? Okay, well, let me explain it. What's the difference between a boy and a man?
Man,
What was that? What did you say?
responsibility.
Responsibility? In a way, that's kind of, yeah, it's kind of along the same vein. It's kind of, yes, kind of. But really, it comes down to one basic thing. A boy is a dependent upon somebody else.
Yeah.
A man has dependents underneath him. So the boy wants to be is taken care of. A man takes care of people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So they're kind of on the opposite sides. So you have lust and love. Lust is about me getting something, whether it's through my feelings or some other thing. It's about me getting something. Love, on the other hand, is about me giving something. So even when a person says, oh, it's a feeling I have for this person, this or that, what they're really saying is, I have a feeling I can get something out of this. Even if they're talking about giving something also, they're really talking about, first and foremost, I can get something out of this, because it's, if you're talking about a guy to a girl, he's thinking, wow, she moves my heart and my other parts of my body, and
Yeah. My brain.
right.
Depends the brain. Yeah.
So if a person is being honest, they're going, the reason why I'm having this emotional pull towards this person is generally because, well, it's something I want, or there's something I want compared to in this relationship. Whereas with love, its own motivation itself. Love doesn't have any motivation except that it's love. In other words, I may want to give you $1 million. In order to have $1 million, I would have to have $1 million in my bank account, in my pocket, to be able to give it to you. If I don't have $1 million, I cannot give you anything. No matter how much I feel I want to give you $1 million, no matter how much I really think you deserve it, I still can't give you something like this. So in order to give love, you must already have in a bank, if you will, love. So where do you get this love? Where? Because you would have to get it from somewhere. How did it get into your heart if you've never been deposited? Ah. I mean, any.
People,
Go.
like, when you make something good, and you're not waiting for something in return,
Mhm.
you will see. Like, if, for example, I had a project. I helped some kids. I have seen. I didn't expect anything from them, right?
Mhm.
And I have seen the love in their eyes,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they came to me and they hold me and they told me, please don't leave us. And this was real happiness, and I saw love in this way. Like, maybe by making more and more and more good stuff,
Yes.
Yeah.
you'll get the positive here love, and you'll have.
But you gave them love. That's true. But where did you get that love to give them?
My aim was to help them with some clothes and like this. Not. I mean, I gave them love from. I don't know where from there.
Yeah, see, that's the point. If I had a glass, right? If I had a glass, this like a glass, an empty glass with water,
Empty glass. Okay.
Okay.
glass. I was a waiter in a restaurant, and I took the glass, and I set it before the person in the restaurant and said, "Drink." They would look at me like I'm stupid because there's no water inside. It's just
Drink the air.
right. But they want water, so you would have to fill it. You would have to find a water source, put some water inside the glass for them to drink. So you would not say, well, I want water, so water up here, and then I'm going to put it in here. You would have to go find the water to put it into their glass so that they can drink. And so it's the same thing with love.
We need to find love.
You need to find,
How can you know that that is love?
yeah, but you need to find, the first important thing is the source of love. If you find the source of love, if you didn't know a river existed or a well existed to get well water, you would be like, okay, where do I find the water? In the kitchen? Where do I find the water? Where it comes from? But if you knew that the well existed and you were looking for water, you would go directly to the well, because that's where you know where all the source of the water is.
Yeah.
So where is the source of love at that you find?
There.
Huh?
There.
Where?
There.
In the ceiling? In the ceiling?
No, it's everywhere.
In the universe.
Well, what if I said to you this way?
God is
As a Christian, there's a scripture that says, 1 John 4:7-8. It says, Beloved, or in other words, it says, my loved ones, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loves, they know God. They know of God. Anyway, it says, whoever doesn't love doesn't know God, because God is love.
That's true.
Right. So if God is the source of our love, and we need to be filled with love,
Then we have to love.
To love God.
yeah, but like you said, not only love God, but in order to love each other, we need to know where the source of love is, so that we can when we get empty of love, we can refill with love. Agree or not agree? What do you think?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, but I'm still analyzing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The whole information.
The only reason I said it's important because most people I find to be sincere. They say, well, look, I really want to find true love, whether it's in a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationship, whether it's just among your friends, whether it's around co-workers, whether it's around any relationship in the world. Most people are kind of, okay, I really want to have somebody love me and someone to love. Most people are pretty honest. But if we don't know what love is, and we don't know where to get love, do you think that explains why we are so confused in this world? You think so? I mean, because we're going around going, I want some love, I want to get some love, and we don't even know what it is, and we don't know where to find it.
Yeah.
You think that'd be kind of confusing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of very confusing.
So now that you kind of sort of still processing what love is, what do you think would be a good approach for people to love better in this world? Because if everybody loved each other or tried to love each other, we would have a really great world, of course, right? But so what do you think you and I and Artur can do to change the world?
Try to find the source of love.
Trying to find a source. I agree. What about you, Artur?
Trying to. No, I think we need to change something in ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to find this power
Mm-hmm.
of giving that love and giving that emotion, goodness
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
And after that, finding people that are agree with us
Mm-hmm.
and doing better and better and grow up this power of
Yeah. Well, you know what? Both of those answers are correct, but it's both of them. We need to be able to, find that source within ourselves. But see, that's kind of the whole point. There's a scripture that says, "Consider your ways," and what it really means is like meditate on who you are. Like you said, Artur, it's kind of like I want to find the source, but I need to find out who I am first. Because if I know myself, I know my strengths and my weaknesses. I know when I'm I tell myself, because we have a habit of lying to ourselves, you know. I mean, every person does it. You know, we're like, oh, I'm a pretty nice person, but just like, yeah, that's most of the time. But what about here? You know, what about in this area? So we'll tell ourselves the good about ourselves is the fullness of ourselves. But we kind of hide all the bad things in a little closet. We kick it in the corner, you know, and say, no, everything's clean. So knowing ourselves, yeah, is the best thing. But when we learn ourselves, then that goes to what you said, Tatiana. It's going to the source. Now that we know what's wrong with us, just like if you go to the doctor, and you say, well, doctor, I've been feeling really bad, and the doctor says, well, what's been going on? You'll do a self-evaluation. You'll go, oh, well, you know, it's my throat here, and it's right here, and it feels this way when I feel this way, and I do this. And the reason why you do that, because you do a self-examination of yourself. You look at yourself honestly, and then and the reason why you're not embarrassed to go to the doctor, you go to the doctor because you say, hey, I want to get cured of this. And so Arthur, yours is saying, I'm sick. Guess what? I need to find out what's going on here and bring all the information I know about me to my doctor. And what you said, Tatiana, is correct. You know, you bring it to the doctor, who's the source of healing you. And the doctor goes, okay, yeah, I know what that is. This is the medicine to heal you. This is what time it's going to take to heal you. And now you're healed and repaired. So both of those answers are the correct way to go on about the night. And I already paid them. I already bought them dinner. So and I let them win a little bit in bowling, but that's another. I digress. A little bit. But okay. Now say goodbye. Unless you have something else to say.
Love you.
Bye, and just go for it.
And what was the last thing?
And go for it, for your love. Just go for searching.
Go searching for the love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Searching for the source.
Okay, searching for the soul. Okay. Okay, so goodbye from Moldova.
Goodbye from Moldova.
See you in
America,
America.
Europe, Bulgaria, everywhere. And then they're gonna sing you a song later, but not right now.
Yeah.
Because it's free right now, and they need you to pay for this thing. Okay. Bye.